Hi everybody, it's Kara, and I have a tag that I created that I thought I would share with you guys. I just hadn't been crafty for a while and decided I wanted to make a tag, and I challenged myself on this tag to just use two colors, and in this case I used craft and black cardstock, and you can kind of see a close-up of that. And I thought, rather than just sharing it with you, I would walk you through the steps of how I put it together. So, in case you wanted to do something similar, you could. This is a Crafting Kimmy's image that I used, and I thought I would just show you how I did it. So, the first thing I did was I got all of the parts cut out and ready to go. So I used the Tim Holtz die and cut out the tag, and this is the standard size tag. I don't remember what the number is right now, but it's basically about 3 1/8 of an inch by 6 1/4, almost 6 1/8, something like that. It's the standard one, and I went ahead and cut out this little part too and attached it because I wanted the contrast between the craft and the black. Then I cut out a whole bunch of these, and I cut out a whole bunch of these, and I also cut out and embossed this piece as well. Okay, so I had all the pieces ready. The next thing I did was I took all of these little craft ovals and found the image that I wanted, which again was the Crafting Kimmy's one, and I embossed the image. I knew I was gonna not color it in, I was gonna keep it very simple, and I thought this was kind of very vintage looking, and this is one of my favorite images, and I can't remember what it is right now, what it's called. I wanna say it's like to mimic, it was the movie star one, maybe Katharine Hepburn, I'm not sure, but anyway, really cute. Absolutely love it. So I got all of those ready. So the first thing I did after that was to start putting the tag together. So I started with the piece that I had embossed, and this was just embossed with a script folder, which I've used before and I love. It's one of my absolute favorites. I like to emboss things both with the embossing powder and then with the folders that you can use. And I just put a little bit of tape on this, not a ton. A little bit on both sides. And again, what I do before I place it sticky side down is I do the reverse and kind of get an idea of where I want it. Let me pull back the camera just a little bit. There you go. So I hold it in place and kind of get an idea of where I want it so I can make sure I kind of line it up before I stick it down. So that looks about right. And then I'm going to put that in place where I want it. Let's see. Actually, let me do it this way. And it's a little bit more difficult than usual because I'm trying to work around the tripod. That's about right. So that's there. And then the next thing I need to do is adhere these two pieces together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And for this, I'm just going to use this tape, which I've talked about before in other videos. Super quick, not going to use a ton. That should be more than enough. And I'm going to do the same thing and just kind of hold it a little bit so I can see how much of the scallop's going to show. And then I'll flip it around and get it into place. And that looks about right. So there's that. And then the next thing I wanted to do would be to adhere all of these flowers, okay? And basically what I did for that was take my glossy accents and use that to put the flowers together. That is my favorite liquid adhesive. It's what I use the most. I also use Scotch Quick Dry, but if I can use glossy accents, I'm going to. I just like the way it holds up. And I put these just a little bit off center. I'm just going to do a couple of them for you. And of course this doesn't want to cooperate right now. Put a little bit down. And so what I mean by off center is I didn't put them right on top. I wanted them over to the side a little bit, like so. And I might hold it down for just a minute, and then I'll get the other one going. And I want to leave room for that other craft colored rose. That's going to go between them. And I like to do this pretty quickly in case I need to move them around before the glossy accent has time to get too stuck down. For example, on this one I'm going to need to pull them apart a little bit, which I can see. And then I want to put that one right in between, like so. Kind of get it stuck down pretty well. Make sure they're all where I want them to be. And there's that. And I'm going to do both the top and the bottom until I'm left with one that looks like this. So basically the image is ready to go. But before I place that down, I want to put a little teeny piece of the lace, and I just used enough to show on the tag. I didn't go all the way across. I didn't think it was necessary because the way I'd placed this was going to cover it up anyway, so why waste it? It's such a pretty trim. And again, I just used a little bit of glossy accents on this. Like I said, I love this stuff. I tend to buy it in bulk when I find a good deal, so that I always have extra. It just works on a variety of things, and I don't like hot glue guns. I'm not a hot glue gun fan. You will rarely, if ever, see me use that because I think they're really messy. I don't like the strings that are left behind, and I don't like the fact that I'm very likely to burn myself because I'm a klutz with them. So I tend to stick to glossy accents and the Scotch Quick Dry. So there's that. Now on this one, for this, I'm going to put a little bit of a puffier adhesive because I want it to kind of offset the dimension of the lace because it does have a little bit of dimension to it. So I'll put a little bit on the back, and I need to make sure that I don't put it too far over here because part of it does hang off. So I'm just going to do a couple strips of the dimensional stuff. And again, got to remember I don't want too much on that other side. And I'll take this off. Hopefully I'll take this off. There we go. And now I can stick this down where I want it. Which is going to be right about here, like so. Then I still have that little lock that I want to attach, which again, I'm going to use glossy accents. This is a little Prima piece that I've had forever. It's a little bit different shape than the other one. But I'm just going to put a little bit of that on here, upside down, and I'm going to tuck it right in there. This one's a little bit smaller, so I'm not going to tuck it underneath. I want you to be able to see it a little bit more. Hold it down for just a couple of seconds. Let's see if it'll cooperate with me. I might have to put a little bit more underneath there because I'm trying to attach it to that trim, and that doesn't always cooperate right away. Okay. Let that sit there for a minute and dry. And then I need to attach the seam binding at the top. Which is basically the last step. And of course it's giving me a hard time. There we go. And I'm sure you guys all know how to tie on your seam binding. There's lots of couple different ways to do it. I put the loop through and then pull it. And then I wanted there to be a little bit of a bow on top, so I made that separate. Of course, this doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. And I put that up here. And then it just needs a little bit of drying time and it's done. So hopefully you guys have seen how easy that can be, and go ahead and give it a try or something similar to it on your own. If you have any questions about what I did, I know I kind of went through it really quickly, just let me know. Leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you're at. Bye!